All right, everybody, thanks for joining. My name is James Ketchum. I am the head of the soundboard team at Edge Theory. Edge Theory is a conversation media company, and we are an official Juice Plus partner, and we run the Healthy Living Soundboard for everybody to have social media content. So a quick plug for the soundboard there. And then I see from the poll that most of you all have not gotten your copies of Social 30, and so I will show you the link to that at the end of the presentation. But real quick, it's a free guide. It's an ebook that I wrote, and it is a day-by-day, step-by-step guide, action points that you can take every single day to grow your business and to grow your presence on social media. So we do these kind of webinars for folks because I know that a lot of people need to hear it and see it. Some people like to work at their own pace. And so the Social 30 is there to meet that need, and it's something that you can download, you can share with your teams. It's our gift to you, the Juice Plus Nation. So thanks so much for joining. So real quickly, she's not on the call tonight, but one of my teammates, her name is Carrie Reed. She'll be joining us future weeks. She is on the West Coast, and so we do calls like this to specifically talk about social media, but we also can do team calls that are more focused on Soundboard if you want your teams to be made aware of what Soundboard can do. And so if you are a West Coast individual and you want your team to have a call, she can accommodate Mountain Time and Pacific Time a little bit better than I can. I'm in Central Time. But that option's there. We'll throw that out there if you are interested. And I'll give you all my contact info at the end of the presentation here. Okay, so what we're going to be looking at tonight is, well, we're going to focus on this actually multiple times through the coming weeks, but here's kind of the root of where we want to go with this, is in order to grow your business through social media, you've got to have these steps in place. And so obviously tonight is number one, education in learning how to navigate the platforms, all those things, but also, education around how to get the most out of what this technology offers. The second piece that you have to have, of course, is content. So the soundboard does provide content for you, but we also want you to be thinking about content in terms of what can you add to existing conversations on social media to be included so that you can get noticed, and also so that you as the whole of you, the things that you care about and your passions can come through, because you don't want to be a one-note instrument or a one-trick pony and only talk about healthy living all the time. You want to be yourself, which leads us to point number 3. Like it or not, you as an independent business person are a brand unto yourself. Therefore, it matters how you come across on these platforms, because people make snap judgments, and you need to come across as an authority. You need to come across as somebody who's comfortable conversing with people about the things that you know about and that you care about. And ultimately, it matters how you appear on these platforms to be professional. Now, to best leverage your presence on the platforms, you also have to know who you're talking to. And so one of the things we'll talk about in an upcoming session in later weeks is how to leverage the data that the technology provides to really figure out who your audience is and how best to appeal to them, because we've got to combine this thought with point 2, which is content, and point 4, which is you have to speak to the things your audience cares about. It's simply not enough to just put a post out there and think, okay, my mission is accomplished. I have posted and now people will flock to me because I have said something. That's not how it works. So this leads to point 5, which is, of course, the conversation. It has to be a two-way street. Just like, if you're meeting somebody new for the first time, you're learning about what they do, their family, maybe asking a little bit about their family health history. You're having a conversation, you're learning more, and you're understanding how to speak to that person with the thing that you have. which is great information about how to get healthier. Same thing on social. You know, you can't just say, I sell this product, I sell this product, I sell this product all day long and expect people to say, oh, I want to buy it, I want to buy it, I want to buy it. You know, that's not how it works. So that's the last piece of this, is you've got to be able to converse with people in a natural way so that the missing sixth thing here can happen, which is, of course, to grow your business. So let's take a look at the branding side of things, because that's where it starts. So we are focusing on Twitter this week and next week. And so we want to think about how you come across and how you appear to other people on the platform. So let's think through your image, the things that you care about apart from healthy living, and the things that matter to you. Okay, so all those things we want to come across when we're talking to people. The first stop for this is your profile. So your profile, when you set up your Twitter account, they do not make you do this. They do not make you set up graphics and images and information about yourself. All you have to do is come up with a Twitter name and you're off and running. So you've got to intentionally go back and fill this out at a later point. So let's just go ahead and hop over here and just look at this live. So we're logged in as the Juice Plus Helper handle, which Carrie and I share, and we answer questions about the soundboard through this handle. So let's go ahead and visit the profile. The first thing that you've got to do is to have an image here. Because when you tweet, every time you tweet, that image is going to show up next to your tweet. If this is an empty image, okay, it used to be, up until a couple of weeks ago, it used to be that you were an egg and people would call you an egghead. Now, in the past couple of weeks, they've just switched it to like a shoulder and head profile, just grayed out profile. Either way, if you don't have an image here, Twitter is not going to really treat your account like a real account, because it may Twitter thinks that you may not actually be a real person. So you've got to take the step to put an icon image in here. I highly recommend making it personal and making it a picture of yourself, whereas this is a business account. This is not about me or Carrie, so we've got some nice looking images here, or vegetables, obviously. Now, the other thing that you want to do is take the time to fill out or put an image back here for this big banner. It's very wide. It's a strange shape. You got a lot of real estate to cover. This is National Women's Health Week, which is part of the larger National Physical Fitness Month for the month of May. So we've got this banner here just for the week, and so we can, be included in that conversation. But when you put an image back here, just think in terms of, really wide, stretched out, because if you try to put a square image, Twitter's going to chop the top and the bottom third off of it, and it's going to look really strange. Now, one of the things we're going to talk about down the road is Twitter tells you how many people actually visit your profile. So when you're just surfing Twitter and you're looking at people, anytime you just click on this, you're going to get taken to that person's profile, and Twitter tells you how many times this happens. And so here's a great example of Lisa. If you're on the call, great job. Lisa's got a nice picture of herself. She's got a really nice high-res image back here that mentions her brand, but it's not over the top. And then you have 140 characters to tell the world a little bit about yourself. So Lisa has done that. She's got some stuff about her faith, her family, and she's a superhero. Cool. Now you can put your location. I recommend that you do that because Twitter's really good about connecting you with local people and local businesses. And then you have a space here to put your website. And so again, you are going to get people visiting your profile, regardless of whether or not they end up following you. This is a great opportunity to point people to your Juice Plus site. Now, as far as the location goes, I know some people push back and say, that makes me nervous. I don't want people to know where I am, who I am. You've gotta separate your thinking about Twitter from your thinking about Facebook, because Twitter is a very, very public platform, and it's all about making connections with new people. And it's all about making connections with people that you would not necessarily make connections with on Facebook. Twitter is very public, and we'll talk more about that in a minute, but I want you to be thinking like that and not thinking in terms of, oh, I've got to build some walls up around me and kind of be really private here to be comfortable. That's not what this platform's about. So please make sure to do all of those things if you have not done so. If you've set up a Twitter profile even a long time ago so that Soundboard could tweet for you, you need to go ahead and get that profile filled out. Okay, so now a tweet. What is a tweet? A tweet, of course, is a message that is published on Twitter. A tweet has a 140 character limit. Why is that? Well, back when Twitter was built in 2006, 140 characters was the limit of how many characters could fit into a text message that we would send through our phones back when we had to pay, you know, an extra $10 a month on our cell phone bill to have 50 tweets a month, or 50 texts a month. And Twitter was built to try to kind of work around that and be the text messaging platform of the web. Well, of course, technology's changed a lot, and Twitter could and has talked about changing their character limit or removing it altogether, but they have decided over and over again to keep it because it makes the platform very fast. It's very easy to get information quickly on it, and it's just something that makes it totally unique. So they've kept it in place. Now let's talk about the power of a tweet for a moment. A tweet, as we said, is a very public thing. Okay, so I'm about to show you how public a tweet can be. So when you make a tweet, yes, it goes out to your followers. Okay, so this account currently has over 1,500 followers. So they're the first people that would potentially see something like this. But because of the way that we are constantly trying to include you in larger conversations through the use of hashtags, which we'll talk much more about next week, your tweets have the ability to be seen by anybody on the platform. Okay, Twitter is a flat platform. It is so much more public than most people understand it to be. And this, again, is a good thing because we get you found. So I just clicked on the hashtag National Women's Health Week. I can see every single tweet that people who use this hashtag see, or who use this hashtag publish, regardless of whether or not I follow them. Okay, so I don't follow a lot of these accounts, but I'm looking at what they're publishing. And if we keep going down this list, at some point, we would find somebody who has a very small account. Okay, so here we're looking at the American Cancer Society that has close to 1 million followers. And then the very next tweet is from a health blog that has 4,000 followers. Okay, so the point is that because of the public nature of the platform, it doesn't really matter how many followers you have because of the way that you can get found and discovered. Okay, here's another thing about tweets. I'm just going to do a Google search here for a hashtag. Look at the very first thing that comes up, actual tweets. Okay, so the point is that people who don't even have Twitter accounts, who've never set foot on the platform, can see your stuff and in one click get connected to you and to your, I mean, this is a Soundboard tweet right here. I know this because I recognize the shortener that we use. Teach children to eat healthy foods. Okay, Miss Kim Lockett. This is where this is so powerful. So don't think in terms of, well, all I've got is 42 followers on Twitter. That's the only people who see my stuff. Simply not true. Even things like Siri, pick up tweets and distribute them. So tweets can be shot all across the web, including to Google. Now, when it comes to composing a tweet, of course, Soundboard can tweet for you if you've signed up for that. But if you want to add to the conversation, like this week is all National Women's Health Week, all you have to do is come here. This works, of course, on mobile or on desktop. You hit the tweet button. Now, I have just done a search for this, so Twitter thinks I want to include this because it thinks this is what we want to write about. But you can do something as simple as getting great information this hashtag National Women's Health Week about preventative care through good nutrition. And we could even hashtag nutrition if we wanted to. All right, so super easy to add ourselves to that conversation. We hit tweet, boom, it's gone. Now remember, yes, it goes to our followers, but also it will show up in this list, in this search for National Women's Health Week hashtag. So that's all you have to do. Super easy. You can drop in links to YouTube. You can drop in pictures. You can make a poll if you wanted to ask your audience a question. Pretty easy to do. Now, when it comes to engaging with other people, okay, remember my point a moment ago about it's insufficient sometimes to just post and then sit back and forget about it and just hope for the best. Because to be a friend or to have a friend, you have to be a friend. And so you need to be going out and engaging with other people and starting conversations. So here's an example of how to respond to somebody if you like what they have to say. This is Health Ranger. Health Ranger posts a lot of great nutrition information and often has these great infographics or cartoons. So we've got the farmer at the pharmacy giving out his medicine, right? So if you want to respond to a message or reply to a message, every tweet has these buttons under it. The one arrow is the reply button, and when you push that, it's going to bring up the composed tweet box, and you'll notice that it starts the tweet. It's going to auto-populate it with his name, and then you just type what you want, and this will give him a notification that somebody is talking to him, and Health Ranger is very good about responding, and so the conversation will start there, and you can go back and forth as long as you want, and you're tweeting at each other, and it's very public. Okay, this is not a private conversation. Anybody can see either side of this conversation back and forth, so be aware of that. When you hear about politicians losing their job because of what they did on Twitter, it's because they don't understand this point. All right. Now, when it comes to retweeting, so a retweet says two major things. One, it says, hey, content creator, I really appreciate what you made and it's worth sharing, so great job. And the other thing you're doing is you're telling your followers, hey, I want you to notice this because this is something they may or may not have come across on their own, but when you retweet it, it copies it to your published feed so your followers have a greater chance of seeing it. So if you want to do that at any point, you just go and hit the double arrow button at the bottom of a tweet, and it'll copy it straight to your feed. I highly recommend that you take time, especially if Soundboard is tweeting for you, to jump in the waters a little bit and to at least go and retweet some other people, because you need to show Twitter as a platform that you are an active, real user on the platform, okay? And so what happens is, I'll make a little side note here. What happens, and I see this happen semi-frequently, is when people sign up for Soundboard and they create a Twitter account, if they don't take the time to fill out their profile, and the only thing that they ever do, I'm going to pick on somebody here if I can find an example, and the only thing that they ever do is let Soundboard tweet for them, and they don't ever log on to their Twitter account and actually do something like retweeting or responding to somebody, then what happens is eventually Twitter puts you in what's called Twitter jail, and your account gets semi-suspended because you're not doing anything through it. Just an outside system, which is the soundboard, is tweeting for you, and that throws up a flag to Twitter. Now, if Soundboard's tweeting for you and you're active on your account and you're even just once a month getting on there and retweeting something else, you have no worries. There will be no problems. But if you haven't, if you sign up for Soundboard back in October and haven't thought about Twitter again, it's high time that you go log in. And it may tell you that you're locked out, but if you'll just log in, it'll clear all that stuff and you'll be up and running again. So no problems there. So a little side note as to why it's important just to do that from an account maintenance perspective. Okay, so how to retweet. So we said that. Just hit the little double arrows at the bottom there, and you'll share that post. So a like is a little bit less public. Anytime you see something that you're interested in and you want to acknowledge that person's piece of content, you can like it, which means basically, thank you, I noticed, I appreciate what you had to say. And the other way that I use them is to bookmark stuff. So if I'm scrolling through and I see articles and I don't want to leave Twitter right then to read the article, but I want to know what's going on, then I'll like it and can revisit it at a later point when I have more time to read. Now, keep in mind, when you like something, it does not show up to your followers in your timeline. But again, this is a very public thing, because if somebody visits your profile, they can click right here. You can go to anybody's profile and click on likes, and you'll see everything that that account has liked. Okay, so keep that in mind as you are crawling Twitter yourself personally. So yeah, so we said liking a message, all you have to do is hit the little heart button at the bottom. Very, very easy to do. Okay, so we have a few minutes, and I want to take questions if they come up, but one last thought for tonight. This idea of public versus private accounts. So when you sign up for Twitter, by default, your account is a public account. You have to intentionally make it private if you want it to be. But here's why I'm going to discourage this idea. Because the point of Twitter is to make new connections with totally random people who, remember, don't know who you are and probably don't know what Juice Plus is, but found you because you are talking their language, which is healthy living, whole food, family fitness, some business stuff. And you're involving yourself in those conversations, and you get interacted with and engaged with and followed from strangers. This is a good thing. Now, I know that if we take our Facebook mentality to Twitter, we think, okay, we need to wall off the garden a little bit. We've got to be a little selective and careful here. Oh, I know. I'll just lock my account. That'll make it easy. Well, what happens is when you lock your account, only your followers can see your stuff ever. Nobody else can see it. If somebody wants to follow you, they have to ask permission, and then you have to grant it. This is basically a death sentence for your account to grow organically. You will not pick up new followers because nobody wants to follow a locked account because it's pointless. So if you have a Twitter account where you just feel like you absolutely have to keep it locked down to a handful of people because of the type of content that you're sharing, I would give you two suggestions. One is, take that content off of Twitter. Twitter is not the place for naked baby photos. It is not the place where you have deep, dark conversations with, your soulmate. It is a totally public platform. It's the cocktail party. It's where you go to rub elbows with strangers and engage in conversation. It is not the place where you share state secrets. So option A is take that content off of Twitter and unlock your account. Option B is, if you absolutely have to have it that way, think about opening a second Twitter account. They're all free. You can open 1,000 if you want, but open a second one and let that be your public facing, healthy living, whatever else you're interested in, persona. so that soundboard messages can actually get some attention for you, because people sign up for soundboard and pay my company to tweet for them, and they have a locked account and they have 12 followers, and it's going nowhere, and you're kind of burning $5 a month. I mean, I'll pick on, I'm just looking at my recent follower list. Locked account. So if I were to want to follow this person, watch what happens. Now it's pending. That means that person sent a message asking permission. They have to say yes or no. This is why people don't want to engage with you on the platform. If you were to go to this person, you can see their profile. You can't see anything about them. Okay, and so this person probably does not have very many followers at all. So all that to say, don't do it. All right, so I saw from the poll that many of you have not gotten your social 30. So if you're not on Soundboard, here's how to sign up with the juiceplus.vip link. Regardless of whether or not you were signed up for Soundboard, this is a resource for you that's free. So you can go to social30.juiceplus.vip and grab that PDF, download it, print it, email it to your team, whatever you want to do. Here's all the ways that you can find us if you have any thoughts, comments, questions. And again, I'll put this recording on the Facebook page here. And next week we will get a little bit deeper into building your brand on Twitter, getting out there and getting involved in conversations, and I'll show you some tricks to do that. So does anybody have any questions? You got to throw them in the chat window. Remember, I can't hear you. Okay, well, I guess I'll take silence as a no. So everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next week. Hold on. Okay, someone has a question. Type away. I'll be patient. Let me show y'all one thing while that person is coming up with their question. I'll give you a little soundboard tip of the day here. It's pretty cool. I'm going to switch the share to my phone. So one of the things that I have done is I have been working pretty closely with Brian Rose and Dr. Mitra Ray to bring Shred 10 content to the soundboard. So we're going to go to the soundboard real quick on a mobile, and the reason I'm showing you this on mobile is so that you can text stuff to your Shred 10 customers. Okay, so check this out. So we're on the soundboard. We're going to click on the image here at the top right, which is these 3 lines, and then you'll notice one of the buttons says topics. So I'm going to click on topics, and then we've got several topics here where we'll continue to add content to. But Shred 10 is one of those. And so what I've done is I've taken straight from the Shred 10 system guide, basically the script that is recommended for you to stay on top of your Shred 10 customers every single day. You'll see day 1, morning, midday, and evening text. So this is, suggested. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, but we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to touch your customers. So you click on this, and again, the reason I'm showing you this on mobile, so this is our day 1 morning text, is because on mobile, you have this text button that is obviously not present on desktop because you can't necessarily text from desktop, although iMessage works, I know. So, and then for the suggested text, you've got the phrase straight from the Shred 10 system guide. Okay, so we're going to text, and when you hit that, it brings up your texting application. I'm going to text this to my boss. All right, and then all you have to do is go boom, and it'll turn it into the message and then a nice looking little image there that goes with it. So you can keep it very personal and relational as you maintain your Shred customers. So pretty cool feature there. All right, let me answer these questions. Okay, so Nicole says, do I use the social 30 to get recorded phone calls from the past? Okay, let me bring this back up and be very extra clear on everything. So this link, the juiceplus.vip, is to sign up for the soundboard. This is where you sign up for the subscription, and then you go back there to log in and access the content that I just showed you. The social 30 link is where you go to download the free guide, the free ebook that is daily tips on how to help you grow your business on social media. If you want the recorded calls, they're all going to be here at the Facebook page. So I hope that helps. Nicole also says, I have a friend interested in JP. Any verbal skills you can share to keep their interest? Be yourself. I say this all the time in these trainings, but it's totally true. Edge Theory, we have a lot of different clients in a lot of different verticals, and we run soundboards for other industries. I say that because Juice Plus people are my absolute favorite people to work with, and I'm not just saying that because you guys and ladies are your company and you individually. You do not lead the conversation with how great the product is, and you do not lead the conversation with how rich you will get if you join this business. You lead with how much you care about helping people get better and get healthier, and the product and the business opportunity follow on that. So I would say keep doing what you do because it works. Cool. All right, let me pull up these other questions here and say, Colleen asked, how do you know if your account on Twitter is public or private? So to discover that, you just look for the lock symbol. If you've got a lock symbol next to it, it's locked. And again, you had to intentionally turn this on at some point for it to be locked. How do you unlock your account? Okay, so if your account is locked, you're going to go up here to your settings. So I clicked on my profile up here, and you're going to click on settings, and I'm pretty sure it's, yeah. So under privacy and safety, uncheck protect my tweets, and it'll unlock it. Okay, if you click this, it's going to get locked. Another person asked, I keep getting questions, true twit validation. Should I be doing that? Okay, so what that means is this. There are a number of services out there that let you set up automatic direct messages to people when they follow you or engage with you. And TrueTwit and Community and Crowdfire are the things that do this for you. And if any of you are on the call and I pick on you, I'm sorry, because I did this a couple weeks ago and I was picking on someone and they were on the call and I hurt their feelings. I didn't mean to. Okay, so what happens is, I'm trying to find the cheesiest one. A lot of times people, you'll get this automatically. Okay, so Christina, Tani, if you're on the call, sorry. You get one of these in your direct message inbox when you follow somebody, okay? So this is clearly an automated thing. I mean, it says Twitter marketing automation. That is such a turnoff. When somebody's in the grocery store in the line behind you and comments on your grocery buggy full of kale and Swiss chard and lettuce, do you turn around and start talking to them about Juice Plus? Probably not. Okay, so don't do the same thing on social media. I would, here's another one. Allison, if you're on the call, I'm sorry. I mean, to me, this doesn't even seem compliant. with company protocol. But this it just feels so inauthentic and spammy. So I highly recommend against doing something like this, because when now look at my inbox, it's just full of all this crap. It doesn't even mean anything. Trina, sorry if you're on the call. Like I don't know what this is, but I see Juice Plus, and then the whole rest of this screams to me spam. Like, you could not pay me $10 to click on this link right now, because I have no idea what it's going to do, where it's going to go, what it's going to do to my computer, etc. I'm sorry, I'm kind of beating a dead horse here now, but hope that answers your question. All righty. Anybody else? Thoughts, comments? Okie dokie. Thanks 1,000. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good one.